everybody.
Hi, everyone.
This is our part two. Part dua.
Yes.
Part
okay.
dos.
So we are back, and we wanted to talk a little bit about stuttering today. And this is definitely a subject that is close to our hearts because of our own experience. And we'll just jump right on in.
Yeah.
Okay. So just quick backstory that some of our friends are going to know, because we've talked about it a little bit here and there, is that when we were children, we stuttered.
Yes.
And that's something that we do
I still
so much now, right? But every once in a while. And I know that with my brother, he stutters. He gave me permission to.
Oh, good, because I don't have permission from mine.
Yeah, but he has that, and I just wanted to just tell everyone that every single person. I mean, this is the main thing that I wanted to say about it, is that all of us have something. It could be the way we look. It could be a physical appearance thing. It could be a physical disability, or it could be an emotional disability. It could be something. I shouldn't say disability, but it could be something emotional that's affecting us.
A challenge.
Right. That makes it take a lot of courage to put ourselves out there and express ourselves. That's the main thing that I wanted to say about it. It could even be an experience that we've been through. And you know what I was thinking about, Vera? And it is like with kids who've been cyberbullied, and let's say their whole school knows about something that happened to them. It takes so much courage to face that situation. If somebody's stuttering, it takes a lot of courage to still try to communicate with people, to get out of the house and go talk to people. If somebody, like at the restaurant where I work, we have this darling gal. She's autistic. She's a teenager, but she doesn't sit in a silent prison. She still tries to communicate. And it's like, that takes a lot of courage.
Yeah.
I mean, even sometimes, when people are even putting themselves out on YouTube, and they might feel that they're self-conscious about something, but they know that what they have to say is more important than anybody's judgment. And that's the main thing that I wanted to say, is that the stuttering does not define us, or whatever disability we might have, whatever experience that we might have been through does not define us. And that being able to still express what we have inside and what we want to say, to share ourself, our heart, our light, that takes so much courage. And I think it's awesome to still put ourselves out there and live our life and share our life with other people. That's the main thing I wanted to say. And then the other thing I wanted to say too was about some of the origins of stuttering. But did you want to interject?
The origins of stuttering?
Yes.
Okay,
some
go
of
ahead.
the things. But did you want to say anything right now?
No.
Okay. Well, from what Vera and I have found, is that sometimes it's cell memory, past life. And then, of course, also it can be that our brain...
It goes faster than our mouth. Runs faster.
Right? And
so really, you're smarter.
Exactly. Yeah. And then the cell memory, like, for example, my brother, he had his tongue cut out in a past life where, you guys, he didn't do it. He was unjustly accused.
Right. It's usually when it's unjust.
But you know what's funny? The people that did do it were the ones that cut out his tongue, so he could never defend himself.
Right.
But that's a cell memory thing that he carries from that lifetime. So it could be the cell memory. It could be the brain works faster than your mouth, like,
or you wrote it into experience.
Exactly. We charted it in our life chart to have that to overcome.
Look at Mel Tillis. I know you youngsters probably don't know Mel Tillis. He was a country western singer, and he didn't just stutter. He couldn't get a word out for the longest period of time.
When he talked?
When he talked. But when he sang, he had no stutter. So it's just, he was in his comfort zone. He could just speak because he had that sing-song kind of, when you have to do when you sing songs.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, and then he went on to do movies. He was an established country western singer at the time. He did Smokey and the Bandit with Burt Reynolds. The only bad thing with that is that they kind of used him to make fun of him.
Right. I don't like that. That's the part that.
And eventually, he stopped doing that. So he learned how to control it, and he went through speech therapy, and there it goes.
Yeah, and see, that's the part that I also wanted to address about stuttering, is that for people that don't stutter or don't have a lot of knowledge about stutterers, is that it's not a weakness and they're not stupid. Mm-hmm. I stuttered when I was a kid, and so did Vera. It's just, and it could even be that when negativity is affecting a person, but it doesn't mean that they're weak or stupid, like we mentioned before.
I'm sorry.
Everybody has something. Everybody does. That person has just as much intelligence and depth as the person who's hearing them. Yeah. Okay, Vera, we got to hear the story. You got to share with our friends.
That's why I kind of started laughing.
I know, because it's really a cute story, though. I love this one. Okay,
I was doing feng shui consultation in the early days, before I even thought about Sylvia Browne or anything like that. I had gone down to Carlsbad. That's where I met Louise Hay. And I went to my first consultation, I swear to God. And I told you guys I was really shy, right? Until I met Sylvia, then all hell broke loose. But I was walking around and I was talking to her, great. Then we sat down to get the whole evaluation of what she needed to do with her house and stuff. And we sat down and I started going, I was, in my brain, I was saying the right words. And she was looking at me like, she goes, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yes." And I just started flop sweating. I mean, I was not just sweating. I mean, I was drops falling. Aww. And she goes, "I thought you were having a stroke." But, I mean, it wasn't stuttering, but it was like I stuttered like the whole word. I mean, the whole sentence, not just the word. I was mortified. I never did it again.
Wow.
I never did it again. No, I was like, no, this is just not for me. This is not for me.
You mean the feng shui thing?
Yeah. Because I thought I was going to do this to everybody.
Right. Oh,
I mean, this went on for a full, 3 or 4 minutes. And she was just staring at me, and I was like, kind of going like, is she not understanding what I'm saying?
It's okay.
And then we just started cracking up. Because I was going, I was just so excited. I was mumbling or something, and she just started cracking up. But it's mortifying.
Right.
It makes you feel so stupid.
I know.
And you're not, like you were saying.
I know, because a lot of people, they think, it seems like the perception is that we're stupid.
Yeah.
We're scared. It's a weakness or something like that. But like I said, everybody has something.
Yeah.
I mean, and like I mentioned earlier, this autistic teen, you would love her, Vera. I just feel like she is so brave because she's trying to communicate with me, and she expresses herself. She'll talk about, I like your lipstick. She's not just totally shut down.
Yeah, that's good.
And sometimes,
and nowadays we're learning more about how to handle autism and Asperger's syndrome and all that stuff.
All these different things, exactly. And that's what this is about, is raising the awareness.
Mm-hmm.
It's, like I said,
because they can be functioning.
Everybody is. There's intelligence.
I know Asperger's can. I'm not sure about
there.
Yeah.
They're not stupid.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No.
Like, we all have something.
Yeah, and in fact, a lot of them are genius. Because there was this one, I can't remember if it was on Rosie O'Donnell's show, that's dating me back in the day, or Ellen. But there was this young man that came on, I think it was Rosie O'Donnell, it was a long time ago. And this he was an older gentleman, but he was autistic. And he just couldn't communicate with people. But put him on a piano, he never learned, no one taught him, cell memory.
Wow, look at that.
And he was just, that's how he brought money into the household because he went on concerts.
Wow.
So, see, it's doable, it's workable.
Yes.
We don't live where we hide people in the basements anymore.
I know. Thank God.
Thank God.
There was this gentleman.
I started sweating after I talked about my feng shui.
Yeah, I know.
So
there was this gentleman, and Vera, it was amazing. He was on MSNBC.
Mhm.
He was being interviewed by one of those shows. I don't remember if it was Rachel Maddow or which one it was, but he was on one of them because he was talking about the Joe Biden thing. When Joe Biden was stuttering, which we talked about in our last video. He had a very bad stutter, but he said that being on the show was like living his nightmare. But he wanted to come on the show because he was having a very hard time speaking, of course. But he wanted to come on the show because he was trying to explain about stuttering to raise awareness and everything. You did. And I loved his courage. And that's what it's all about, is he faced it.
You know, people wonder why we write in challenges in our life. That's why.
Exactly.
There is a reason for it. It's for us to learn, to grow. And not just the person, the community. People that you're affecting or people that are affecting you.
It's raising the awareness and the consciousness of the planet in general, like this ripple effect. And that helps to bring light into this world. It's like a light. It's not like. It is a light versus dark place that we're in, and we're trying to, that's what we're doing here. And that's why people chart things like that, is because it raises the consciousness. In theory, that's what we can either accept or not accept, but that's what we're doing.
Exactly.
So awesome. Anything else you want to say about that?
That's it.
So we want to thank you all for joining us. Such a cool, I'm just so happy that we could share about that. It means a lot to me.
And if you're having the issue, just remember, just take a deep breath. If you have to pause for a moment, do it. People will wait. If they don't, then it's on them.
Yeah, and
but practice makes perfect.
And like I said, one of the things, because sometimes I still do it, like at a restaurant or whatever, and I just tell myself what I have to say is more important. And so I don't care if they judge me, they judge me. It's okay. I got things to share.
Exactly.
Light to share and love to give. We love you all. Thanks for joining us. Have a great week.